Hello, my name is Howard Berger. I'm here for another CTE Aiming. Some of the areas that I wanted to cover on this particular video are hard shots, and to show you the extent of CTE and how it works, my style is a little bit of a morph between ghost ball and CTE. There's a traditional CTE by Stan Shuffet, who's probably the king of CTE, and he's been doing this for probably 10 years and has a book and everything else. There's a lot of good instruction out there for a number of different players. So whether you be a beginner or somebody who has some experience, I like Sharivari, which is a great instructor. Tor Lowry is another one that teaches you just the concepts of just about everything in terms of position. Dr. Dave, of course, you may have heard of. And the Terminator, Feigen, is a senior pro player who could give you some great insight on playing. And last but not least is FX Billiards. Bryan is one of the local players, and you can learn a lot from Bryan as well. So let's get started. I just wanted to show you some of these concepts of the harder to make shots that I come across, and this is why I use CTE when it comes to making some of the hard shots. So let's get started. For that edge of the cue ball, I'm coming in from the left side, aiming at the edge of that four ball from the half tip offset, and all I do is pivot. And you're in. Here's a shot that I perhaps could make it into the side. It's a nice cut there as well. I'm going to try it in the corner. So it's really not a B. I would probably think it's a C. So I'm aiming for the C on this one. I'm aiming for the C. I'm coming in from the left side of the cue ball, aiming for the C, and then pivoting over. Not enough. So there you are, a situation where it's just not enough. So that means I have to go for the 1/8. So I'm going to do it again. This time I'm aiming for the 1/8 marker, coming in from the left side on the 1/8, and then pivoting over. So there you are. It's a 1/8 shot. The 6 ball looks like it's about aiming towards the dot. I could make it maybe as a bank. I could probably play it in the corner, but if the balls were blocked or any other thing would be happening, I'd be playing it in the side. So let's try that. Again, it's a 1/8 cut, so I'm coming in from the left side, offset from the cue ball. My left leg's behind the cue ball. From the backhand, I'm turning my cue to the middle center cue. There you are. All right, so here we go. The 7 ball is lined up to the corner. I can make it in a corner fairly easy. But in case it's blocked, then I really have no choice, so I have to make it there. So CTE allows you to do that by just concentrating. Again, you're not concentrating on a specific point on the 7 ball. I'm just basically pivoting over from the edge. So aiming for the edge of the cue ball from the half tip offset, and then pivoting over. And there you are. All right, so here's the deep cut. This is a 10 ball going into the right-hand corner. I'm going to be trying to get it in by hitting the edge of that ball. So I'm coming in on the right side of the cue ball, aiming for that edge, and then pivoting over. Just made it. Okay, here we have the 6 ball aiming towards where it's basically on the line with the pocket. I can make it in the side relatively easy, so I'm going to go in the corner, and I'm coming in from the right side of the cue ball, hitting what I consider the A on the spot. It's not very strong cut, so it's 8, and I'm going to just pivot over. So here I come in, aiming for the A from the offset, and then taking my backhand and pivoting over. This is a relatively easy shot. You don't really need CTE for this. It's a straight up shot, so you can use ghost ball as well. But just to show you how it would work, I'm coming in from the right side of the cue ball on the half tip offset, aiming for the B. Very, very basic, and then just pinning over, and you're in. I'm aiming for the 12 ball. It's pretty much aiming for the middle dot, but the 10 ball's in the way, so I can't play it in the corner. So ideally, I'd have to play it in the side. So I'm going to come in from the left side of the right side of the cue ball, pivoting over. So I'm coming in for the, it's a B. I'm coming over and pivoting over, and you're in. So here I have a shot. I'm looking at the 1 ball. It's almost aimed straight to the corner pocket, but the 10 is in the way. So I really have not much choice. I could put it in the side, and we could try that as well. And I also could try it in the corner. So I'm going to try it in the corner first and see if it works out. So I'm coming in from the left side of the cue ball, hitting on the 1/8 spot because it's a deep cut, and then pivoting over, and you're in. This is a straight up, the balls are on the line. I'm going to aim just about center it up. So I'm going in for a right-hand corner shot, and I'm aiming at the C, coming in from the half tip offset, aiming at the C, and then pivoting over my stick. There you are. All right, so right now we're at the end of the, almost at the end of the table. The 7 ball is, if you look at the aim, it's almost aiming into the middle diamond, and the cue ball and the 7 ball are almost on the same track, but it's still a B shot. So if I'm going to aim for the B, coming in from the left side of the cue ball, aiming for the B, and then pivoting over. So it's, again, half tip offset, aiming over. The one thing about CTE, it allows you to, since you're only basically working with the ball on this side, you're really not aiming for the pocket at all. It gives you a little bit more confidence in terms of getting some of the balls in. And there's shots that you generally would never think about making that you can make easily with CTE because, again, you're only interested in hitting it on this side. You're not really worrying about where the pocket is. So I know that if I hit it correctly here, that I should be okay. So let's go with I'll go to C on this. In fact, I'm going to change it to a 1/8 and see where it goes. So I'm aiming for the 1/8, pivoting over, and there you are.